Stations, July 14th. We are halfway through July already. How did that happen? And we had a full moon, new moon, full moon this past week. Um, how did that, full moon, full moon, that's what I'm trying to say. How did that full moon affect everyone? Everybody doing okay? Sometimes those moons can be powerful. Let's see, what did I do? Got my screen all over the place, y'all. I'm gonna get myself together soon. Sooner rather than later, please. Maybe I should take some sips of my coffee. Let's take a couple of deep breaths because I need to ground. So let's all ground together. Bringing our energy into this present moment, bringing our focus here. Opening ourselves to listen and hear the messages that come through. All right, I feel better. Got my crystals out this morning. I got my Lumerian on my desk. I don't know any messages, and it's one of the channeling crystals too. Do y'all know the difference between when it comes to crystal points? Not necessarily Lemuria, but any crystal with the point. Do y'all know the difference between a regular crystal and a channeling crystal? I want to see. Hold on, let me look at the screen just a minute. I'm gonna ask that question again. Thumbs up, thumbs down, maybe no. Put it in the chat. Yes, no. Okay, because I'm taking notes. That just means I need to do my crystal class again. Yay! I thought that was so interesting when I found out how to distinguish a channeling crystal, and so now I always look at the points. There's a lot. There's a lot. I'll just do that. Maybe I'll do a quartz crystal class where we talk about points and when those, and if it's a crystal that helps you channel into the future or helps you channel and reflect on the past. But today's Magical Money Manifestation. Hi, I'm your host, Valorie Lewis, the hostess with the mostest, the psychic medium that wishes she was a large. And today we go through tarot cards first, and then we move on to oracle cards. And then if there's time, I try to pull one card pulls for those in the audience who might need individual, quick one card pull messages from the divine. And then after that, I try to do an energy activation. I never know what kind of energy Spirit is going to have me channel or what kind of meditation Spirit is going to ask us to connect to until we kind of get into the reading and see where Spirit would like us to direct our energy today, this week. There's a lot of messages going on. I hope y'all are seeing. I love to learn. Awesome. Oh, a lot of people don't know about the crystals. Clueless, really? I thought there'd be one or two over there that said yes. Full release happening all at once. Girl. Which one is it in? What sign was it in? Is it in Cancer? No. New moon was in Cancer. This would be in, what's the opposite Cancer? Does anybody know what the full moon was in? There it is. I might put it in chat. Capricorn? Is that's a guess. Capricorn with the question mark. Nobody knows. Oh no. All right. Where's Kitty? Kitty usually knows. Okay, I've got the cards pulled. The deck that we're pulling from is Brit's Third Eye Tarot. Let's get into the tarot reading. Ask Spirit. Okay, so a lot of people saying it was in Capricorn. That makes sense. Can we confirm it's in Capricorn before I start talking a little bit about Capricorn energy and what it might have done to you and what havoc it may have wreaked in your lives? But let's move into the tarot reading. I'll wait and see for sure if it was in Capricorn. So let me feel into the energy of the room, the energy of the collective spirit. What messages do we need to take with us? First card, it is in Capricorn. Awesome. I'll talk a little bit about that in a minute then. You do this, and let's do this. The Hierophant is our first. Oh, I think my braids kind of match the card. The Hierophant is the first card of our pull today. The Hierophant, card number 5 in the Major Tarot. I really like this card. I'll say, so the major tarot is the story of the fool's journey. The fool represents us as an archetype as we journey through different life lessons, different characters, different themes within our life. And then we just keep repeating that over and over again as we spiral, hopefully higher. Hopefully none of us are in a downward spiral right now, but if you are, I get it. As we spiral higher on life's journey. So when the fool first comes out and starts his journey, he meets two sets of parents. Immediately after he gets advice from two sets of parents, the very next character that he visits is the Hierophant. The Hierophant being card 5. I think that's very important, and it's very fitting on our journey of self. We have our parents that bring us up, that add advice, tell us the best they know. And then the very next thing is the Hierophant, which represents structures and also our belief system. So often represented by a religious structure, we understand that yes, religion is a very strong structure, or at least it was when the deck was originally created for for most of civilization living at that time. So a religious symbol was used to represent all kind of structure, organization, belief systems that are handed to us. It does not mean it's necessarily always about religion. It could be about education systems. It could be about government systems. It could be about local systems. It could be about money systems. It could be any established system that we are kind of born into, collectively taught to be a part of. When we get to a point in our journey after we've got the advice of our parents and we're ready to head out in the world, the first thing we do before we say, wait, first I want to examine my beliefs with the Hierophant. First, I want to make sure that my beliefs are my beliefs and they're not the beliefs that my parents gave me, because this is someone going out into the world for the first time on their own. They no longer need the beliefs of their parents. They're not the beliefs that my parents gave me. They're not the beliefs that school gave me. They're not beliefs society gave me. I want to make sure that my beliefs are my beliefs. Look at that invisible box around her head. Still permeable. I can still accept other beliefs and listen to other things and shift and change my beliefs, and I can still discard what doesn't work for me. But there's still this small layer that says what's mine is mine. So if this is the first card and it's major arcana for our week, what do you think Spirit is asking us to do? Sit with yourself and ask yourself if during this time of rapid transformation and change, even if we're like, no, my life isn't changing much, I see it in the world. Even in this time of rapid transformation and change, we are being asked to re-examine our beliefs and check and see which beliefs we have grown out of. And are there any new beliefs we need to adopt to make our journey forward with more clarity, with more understanding, with more self-awareness? How do we examine our beliefs, and how can we do so from a place of compassion and gratitude? I bless this belief that I carried so long. As I re-examined it, I realized that it really wasn't mine, but it served me good. Now I'm ready to release it. Instead of, I just did a session and this person told me I had this undercurrent, this subconscious belief, and oh my God, why did I believe it so long? And oh, I just ruined my life and I wish I'd shifted it earlier and must eradicate it. I got to go to a shaman and a clearing and I got to get rid of that belief. Go. That's not what we want to do with those beliefs. Those beliefs stayed with us for so long, they must have had a purpose. So we want to send them away with gratitude and compassion. Don't know where I picked you up. Maybe I kind of know why you served me. Maybe I have no clue why you served me. But now that you're there and now that I've decided I no longer need you, thank you. Thank you. You can be on your way now. Party's over. I don't know where you got to go, but you got to get the hell up out of here. But do it in a nice way. We don't have to fight against those things that we are releasing, because that just makes them want to stay longer. So the Hierophant asking us at the beginning of this week, and with this full moon energy, examine your beliefs and ask yourself what's yours. And then the next card is the Ace of Swords. And I like the Ace of Swords because it's all about our thoughts. It is about communication too, but in this context, it's about our thoughts. It's air energy. It feels like a crisp, cool breeze coming in on a hot, muggy day. Think about that. Hot, muggy, participation, humidity in the air. And out of nowhere, you feel a crisp, cool breeze. It's going to feel like it's cutting right through that heat. If y'all have ever come into the Midwest heat, it feels like like you're stepping into the heat, like you're moving through something very sluggish. A crisp, cold breeze would feel like it just cut right through that, like the Ace of Swords. That's what this energy feels like, something crisp, clear, cutting through any of the muck, cutting through any of the discomfort. And it's swords, so it's a thought. Be looking for clarity after you've examined your beliefs. Be looking for clarity to come on the other side of that. Clarity maybe while you're examining your beliefs as far as what to cut and what to let go of, but also clarity of now that I've kind of cleared out what's not mine, now I can kind of see a little bit better. Oh, I think I know what my next step is. Or, oh, I have this really cool idea that I wasn't able to get to earlier because I had too many other people's ideas in my head. So Ace of Swords, right after we do some self-examination, I look forward to that. Anything else you want to say about the Ace of Swords, Spirit? In this particular card, there is a wreath surrounding the hilt of that sword. There's also a red cord. I know the red cord has significance in the tarot, and at this moment I'm forgetting it, but Spirit brought my attention to the wreath. And the wreath represents victory, success, achievement, accomplishment in the tarot. So that Ace of Swords is also the additional message is if you're trying to accomplish something, get an answer, get a clarity, get a next step forward, something in your thinking brain, maybe a puzzle you've been trying to figure out, or I'm not sure about this thing, victory over those confusing thoughts. Victory over something you're trying to bring about, something you're trying to think through. And Spirit then just stopped me and said, just simply say victory over your thoughts. I really like that. If your thoughts have kind of been everywhere lately, victory over your thoughts. And then what comes next? So we've set and examined. We've got some clarity of thought with the Ace of Swords. Thoughts shape our reality. It's not that simple. I wish people would say thoughts shape our reality and keep reading because there's so much more that goes to it. Thoughts shape our reality and what? And emotional component has to be there as well. And both of our next cards are cup. So I do think this week is about manifesting when we get the thoughts and the emotions that clear. So take this message as, yes, how can I apply it to what's going on in my life, whatever situation or experience you're currently in, but also take it as a broader message as these are also steps or tools of how you might better manifest, just some clues and things that you might want to tune up. You want to make sure that what you are manifesting is yours. Make sure your beliefs are lined up with that manifestation. Make sure you have clarity of thought, that you're not all over the place, that you know what you want, that you have decided what you want, and now you're ready to allow the universe to surprise and delight you. And then adding that emotional component. So here we have the ace, and then right after it, we have the page. And aces and pages have very similar very similar energy, and that they are both considered useful, fresh starts and beginnings, the ace and a page. A page being the lowest ranking, not lowest, youngest ranking when you get to the court cards. So that's why it has that young, youthful, optimistic energy. Cups, what messages are you going to receive? Because pages are the messengers. What messages are you going to receive through the channel of your emotions? That's the question. And that's the question you can sit and ask Spirit. Spirit, what messages am I going to receive through the channels of my emotions? I'm willing to sit in my emotions long enough to understand what the message is. And no longer, because that's emotional mastery. I'm going to sit with my emotions long enough to understand what the message is, but not long enough to cause me any damage or any long-term loops or patterns. Page of Cups. Spirit's trying to tell you something through your emotional channels. also through your intuition. I like that even though it doesn't feel like it has much to do, she's being creative here. She's got her art palette out. She's painting this beautiful cup, making it her own. And I would normally associate something creative like that with wands, with fire, but here it's coming through in cups in this particular deck. There's something, it feels like it's equal parts creative and emotional that we may have been saying no to. Equal parts creative and emotional, and it feels like an activity or a task that we may have been saying no to. Equal parts creative and emotional for me, I'm being given the example of a young child who used music to cope, got older, didn't need music anymore, got a job, moved on with their life. And when they sit and they think about how much joy, peace, relaxation music brought them, they always tell themselves, oh, I don't have time to pick up that instrument anymore. Or I don't really want to do that. I don't have the money to go buy that instrument anymore. Whatever that is, that's where equal parts emotion, there's an emotional attachment to this thing. And it's also equal parts creative endeavor. So it feels like there's something in the mix out there for us that maybe we could say yes to that's going to bring that emotion to us as well. Something we used to love, something brings up memories in a good way that we could partake in this week to move the needle forward. And then the last one is the third of cups. The three of cups, talking about partaking in something, doing something that maybe has an emotional tie or emotional significance to us. And who do we do it with? With our friends, with our community. Three of Cups is that. Also still in the cups arena, but talking about that community, that coming together. I mean, there's not a better representation right there. Three chums out having a brewski. Why did I say it that way? I don't know. Three people having beers together. Are there ways that you can be in community in a fun, uplifting way? The additional message about cups is all of their cups are full. When you put yourself in community situation or friend situations, make sure you're doing so in a situation that as you are pouring into others, they are also pouring into you. Think about when was the last time I went out in community and I felt my cup being full. Online or in person, online is preferred, and that's not me, that's spirit. In person, if that's as much as you can do in the moment. Okay, so those are our tarot cards. Let's see, what deck do you want us to go to? Oh, some big revelations happening over in the chat. I'm just paying attention to the chat. My personal structure and beliefs are currently collapsing, said one person. Yes, that's happening a lot. I would encourage, just because I've got some of that going on in my own hemisphere. That's not what I meant to say. Not hemisphere. What do you call it? Yeah, in your hemisphere, brain hemisphere. That is what I meant to say. Because I've got some of that going on. I would encourage you to keep going. But also because Spirit said this is what we need to be doing. So if this is what you're doing, then you're on the right track with that. What's going on? I want to kind of get a better bead on the group today before we move on a little bit. I'll tell you what I know about Capricorn. And I'll tell you why I think I not only know it, but I live it, is because I have a Capricorn moon. Capricorn is represented by the sea goat, I do believe. But I usually just focus on the goat because it is an earth sign, even though it does have that water element. It is an earth sign, and the goat is that ibis goat, the one that tries to scale the side of an almost vertical mountainside. It's determination, y'all. It's resourcefulness, determination, not giving up. Capricorns have a plan. and their earth energy, but also that resourcefulness. That resourcefulness comes in clutch when we don't have a plan and we still have to keep going. It helps us find a way to keep going. So that's Capricorn energy, moving forward, moving forward, moving forward always, especially when other people are like, I'm not sure about that. The side of that mountain looks like you might fall off. A Capricorn is not arrogant and where they're like, watch me. That's my Sagittarius. Sagittarius is like that. But a Capricorn is like, I'll figure it out. I got resources. I was born with these special hoofs. I was born in such a way that it gives me the things I need to climb this wall. So ask yourself that. How can I be more Capricorn? How can I look at my internal makeup, all the things I've come through, all the gifts I've received that are going to empower me to keep going? I can be resourceful. Okay, moving on to Oracle cards. First Oracle deck is the 22 Archangels by Kyle Gray. I have not pulled this card before from this deck, but it's Daniel. I didn't even know he was in the deck. He's got the sun on him. Daniel. Divine discernment. Trust in the messages within. They are divinely guided. Discernment is a theme that has come up at least 3 times for me. I was giving readings for others, and discernment is a word, a theme that has come up repeating. So when it comes up in a repeating way as I'm giving readings for others, I take that's a message for myself as well. And today, before I did today's reading, I was thinking to myself, I wonder what the community needs. And then I said to myself, I wonder what I need. Today, can we make my reading give me some insight to Spirit? That's what I asked before I came into this gathering. So the fact that discernment, divine discernment is coming up again, I absolutely know this is a message for me, and I'm ready to receive it, Spirit. What say you? Daniel is mentioned in the book of Enoch as an angel who watches over 200 other angels. Like Uriel, he is associated with the energies of light, fire, and the sun. His name means God is my judge, and he is therefore dedicated to helping us align our life with justice and truth. With the help of this powerful angel, we can use discernment with regard to challenges and decisions. Discernment is a deep inner knowing of the answer or the next step when it comes to a life decision. Call on Daniel to help you make the best decision for the pathway ahead. I did not know Daniel was an archangel. Learned something new today. Here's your message. Right now, you have unlocked the ability to make a judgment on a particular area of your life that requires a decision to be made. Did y'all hear that last part? Requires a decision to be made. So that means stop putting it on the back burner and telling yourself you need more time to think about it or more information. Whatever comes to your mind in this instant is the issue that the angels are bringing to your attention. What you feel you need to do is absolutely what you need to do. You may be wavering because you lack trust in what you are feeling, or because there's a part of you that's struggling with the truth that you need to embody. But your archangel guidance is to trust your discernment. When you take the first step, the next step will become even more apparent. Step by step, the divine is guiding you. So trust in your ability to assess a situation and make a judgment. Angels are helping you with it now. Ooh, I like that message. I feel like that message hit home for some of us. The only other thing I want to hear want to say about discernment is one of my friends posted about discernment on the interwebs just this past weekend and used that word in a word I'd never heard it before. And they said discernment is a subset of judgment, a higher vibration than judgment, but still the same energy. And I never heard those two linked before. I always thought discernment was one thing and judgment was another thing. But putting them together just really clicked in my brain, and it feels really beautiful. So I do feel like that can be absolutely true. Discernment can be judgment in higher form, in higher aspect. So that's that. I'm gonna drink some coffee, y'all. One moment. Coffee break. Oh, that's so good. I got a new brand of coffee, found it on sale at Wally World, and the coffee is called Happy. The brand is called Happy. And then each one, light, medium, or dark roast, has a little special message on it. So, yes, please. Happiness was on sale at Wally World. All right, the next deck I'm pulling from is Faces of Ocean. Ocean. You know what? I'm going to stop struggling over pronunciation on all of these cards and decks, and I'm going to just say it the way I want to say it. How about that? I waste way too much time trying to pronounce things the right way. Ocean of Unlocked Gates. Card number 36. 36 is also a 9. Nines have been rampant in my tarot readings for myself and others. 999, you know what a 9 means? You're almost there, don't give up. You're almost there, don't give up. That's what it means in numerology. With 10 being completion, 9 meaning you're almost there. Ocean of Unlocked Gates. Freedom. Breaking barriers. Unleashing potential. Looks like she has a key and that she is inviting you through. 36. Oh, I almost turned directly to it in the book. Let's see. Here's the quote. I hold the keys to my own liberation, end quote. That's it. That's the only message you need for the rest of your life. I'm done being a reader. I hold the keys to my own liberation. Here's the message. It's called the Initiation of Peacocks. I guess if you look closer, there is a peacock on that card. Ready or not, the gates to your freedom are open. How fitting, since we were talking about within the membership, we're talking about freedom this month. The gates to your freedom are open. Liberation comes in many forms. Choose yours. You're standing at the threshold of a newfound sovereignty. Pinpoint what has been holding you back: fear, self-doubt, or external factors. To embody this commitment, take immediate. Does everybody know what that word means? I challenge you, because some of you are like, immediate means as soon as I get off this call. Immediate, that's not what it meant the last time I understood that word. Immediate meant right now. So think about it, because you're about to do it. When I finish this message, I'm gonna ask you to take immediate action. Take immediate, tangible action, no matter how small. Maybe you'll finally book that class you've been curious about, or initiate a challenging but necessary conversation. Walk through this unlocked gate. What to do now? That's the topic, the heading. With your freedom comes the responsibility to set fresh boundaries. Be clear about what you will and will not accept going forward. If your freedom is tied to something bigger, like a job loss or a breakup, recognize this moment for both loss and growth. You hold the key to your destiny. Now is the time to turn it and step into your full power. Here's the story of this particular ocean. Her story is what it's called in this book. Ocean represents several forms of liberation, including emotional, sexual, and spiritual freedom. In some Pataki's sacred stories, Ocean is depicted as the liberator of her devotees through her ability to heal, inspire love, and bring prosperity. She frees people from the bonds of despair, unhappiness, and emptiness. She is associated with the fluidity and shape-shifting power of water. I like that. Okay, so here's the healing ritual. Arrange a path of small stones or crystals on a table representing the road you wish to clear. Place a white or gold candle at the beginning of this path and another at its end. Light the first candle, asking the goddess to support your journey. As you move along the road, remove any stones or crystals that you feel represent present obstacles. When you reach the end, light the second candle, inviting new opportunities and open doors. I love that so much. If you don't have rocks and candles, you can still envision it. You can still call that energy in. You can still see a golden white light coming down at the beginning of the path, moving yourself visually through it. You can put some, almost everybody has access to paper. You can get some paper, crumble it up, and let that be your rocks. So these practices can still be done even if you don't have all of the materials that it calls for. It's more about the energy and the focus than the actual crystals, stones, rocks, candles. So let's talk about that immediate action. Bashar likes to say, follow your joy for as long as you can, something like that, to the fullest extent of your ability. So your immediate action right now is to take immediate action. And I'm going to give you a couple of easy ways to do that. The first step in manifestation, when you don't have all of the tools, ability to do things right now, the first step is to write it down, because it takes it out of your brain, it takes it out of the ethers, it takes it out of thought and energetic form, and it puts it onto something tangible right in front of you, using your physical apparatus to bring it into the world. So that's the first step. So if you can do nothing else, I want everyone to immediately write down the first thing you are thinking of doing in relation to this plan, in relation to what Spirit is asking you to move forward to do. Writing it down is so easy. When you tell me that you can't, I counter that you can. You just need to find a way to do it. So writing it down is a very easy way to take immediate action. And many of you have got other ways to take immediate action. Maybe you just opened that email that you didn't want to open until after you were off the call. Or maybe you replied to a text message. Or maybe you did something, rearranged crystals in your altar. Those are all ways that we can take immediate action towards moving the energy down our desired path. The name of that deck was Faces of Ocean. Where are we at time-wise? Oh, we're still doing really good. All right. What else do we need this group to know, Spirit? Path forward. Wisdom of the Shadow is the next deck we're going to pull from. Wisdom of the Shadow. I love that title. Sometimes we go seeking shadow work, and sometimes the shadow work finds us. Either way, there's a lot of wisdom available. Let me just shuffle this. Spirit, what do we need to know today about opposite energy? I'm hearing a message, channel message that I will just relay over to you. In this world of duality that you have created, I would like to remind you that the darkness supports the light. Not my words. I'm going to have to fill into the meaning of that. And maybe we'll get some cards that'll let us know. But I want to remind you that the darkness supports the light. As I was thinking about that message and as it was coming through, I inadvertently pulled 3 cards instead of 1 card, which I don't usually do, but I feel like the 3 cards line up beautifully. So I don't know how much of the definition we'll get into, but I'm going to read the titles and y'all can get a feel for the theme. Let me just, did I not spotlight myself? I think I took myself off of spotlight. Let me do that. Sorry about that. Now can everybody see? Okay, awesome. The 3 cards, emptiness. Think about a time in your life when you felt that. Emptiness. The next card, resilience. And the last card, balance. Without saying anything else, a lot of us can relate to how those 3 cards might interplay, those 3 themes might interplay. But the first card I pulled was emptiness. Before I get to the book definition, I'm seeing a vessel that holds some type of liquid just being emptied out, because whatever that liquid is no longer good. So it's like, let me empty this out. I'm seeing somebody like wiping it with the cloth, drying it out, and then refilling it. We do that every day in our regular life. Do we do that in our spiritual life? Emptiness does not have to be a bad thing if we are clearing something out in order to fill it back up with something more desired, fresh and new. So this is actual artwork, individually painted artwork. And the art, this piece is called Sitting Through It. Sitting Through It. And the message is, I honor the sacred emptiness within me. There is wisdom in the spaciousness of nothing at all. Wisdom in the spaciousness of nothing at all. The value of emptiness isn't widely encouraged to most of us. The value of being full, busy, and all-knowing pervades instead. When something is missing, some may encourage us to fill in the void or the time. We more than likely notice when there is stillness and can tend to look for what is next to come. What if the sacred emptiness is a most magical place to be? What if the emptiness is the place where the divine comes through, where light enters us, where deeper wholeness resides? Sitting in our own body, our own awareness, without distraction can be quite difficult. It can sometimes be more uncomfortable to feel emptiness than it can be to feel stressed or overwhelmed. It can sometimes be more uncomfortable to feel emptiness than to feel overwhelmed or stressed. That is the sign of a dysregulated nervous system. That is the sign of how most of us are living in society nowadays. And if that is what you are experiencing on any level, I invite you to start really looking at your nervous system regulation, and things of that sort. Because when your body says overwhelm, stress, anxiety, doubt, fear, all of those things I know, and I'm comfortable with those because I know what to expect from them. I don't want peace. That's what your body's saying. That's not what we're saying. Our brain is saying, give me peace. But your body is saying, I haven't had peace for so long, I know stress. So let's just hang out in stress. So how do we rewire that? How do we rewrite that? Let's see. Perhaps we remember hearing or saying, oh no, it's too quiet, something must be wrong when we sit in the emptiness. In a world where go, 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 and how much we can get done are celebrated, the art of being with sacred emptiness is vital. Become aware of how you fill your time and space. Think about how comfortable or uncomfortable you are in silence or emptiness. Ask yourself, why is that? Notice any stories about worthiness that are attached to how much you do or accomplish. Notice if there are any boundaries that want to be expressed so as to offer yourself more spaciousness. Here's some questions you can ask yourself under a title called Contemplations. What are some ways I fill the time or overcommit myself? How can I create more time or space to be with the emptiness? And when I am in emptiness, what comes up and how does it feel? Cool. So emptiness was the first one. Resilience is the second one. Look at that shattered heart. I'm not going to read the book. I might post the book later on social media, so make sure you're following me on my socials. But I am going to give you a spiritual insight on what this card might mean. So we've sat in the emptiness. We've gotten comfortable with the emptiness. We've gotten our wisdom from that emptiness. And in that emptiness and that stillness, I'm almost certain, because now I'm like, oh, I should sit in that more often. I don't often give myself time for just nothingness. I give myself time for meditation, but not often time for just nothingness. But in that nothingness comes wisdom and comes clarity when you're able to drop everything and just be. And from that point, I can almost guarantee you resilience is going to well up within you. Resilience like a light that's going to pull back together all the pieces, all the fragmented energy that you have out into the world. Whatever it is you're trying to make your way through will suddenly seem just a little bit lighter when you give yourself time to just be in that emptiness. So resilience coming next. And what comes after, we're tilted down here. We're like, well, let me just sit in the quiet. And then we're like, all right, I guess I'll get up now. Let me move into this resilient energy. What happens is we balance things out. So of course we've got the balance card last. If you've been feeling a little knocked around, maybe it's time to just sit and be quiet and see what wisdom is coming. It's okay to sit and rest. I know this world has been demanding that we go, go, go. And I know there's so many things that we need to get done, especially if you are in the middle of transformation and change. The world is asking a lot for you right now. Make sure you are still giving yourself time to sit in the quiet, regardless of all the other things going on, so that you can build that resilient muscle, so that you can find that balance again. I like those cards did not fit back in there the correct way. Okay, Spirit, what else do we need to know? I think this is the last oracle card I'm going to hit before we start going into the one card draws. The Dragon Path Oracle, because it's got path in the title. Spirit, what do we need to know about walking our path, clearing our path, finding our path, moving down our path? What do we need to know about our path this week, Spirit? All right, let's turn this card over. God, if I don't get this dragon all the time. Platinum. All the time. You would think I would have memorized the message by now. I have not. Card number 23. Platinum. I am the keeper of secrets is his quote. Or her quote? I don't know. His quote. This incredible being is the guardian of the Atlantean temples. Ding, ding, ding. Pause one moment, please. I'm going to go completely off script because Atlantean temples reminded me of something. Okay, so the Atlanteans are related to the Syrians. It's said that the Syrians came down and then they migrated over to Atlantis. Cool story. I'll tell it another time. Anyway, that reminds me of Sirius coming up. 8-8, y'all. 8-8 Lionsgate. I just put the event on the meetup calendar. Please go check it out. It's an annual event. I think this is going to be our 4th or 5th year doing Lionsgate. And this year we're going to focus on another Egyptian god. And I'm really excited to bring through those messages. But yeah, and maybe in that, if y'all are curious, maybe I'll talk about the connection between Sirius and Atlantis, or Syrian people and Atlantis, because I don't hear it talked about a lot. Okay, back to the point. I know that was totally off script. Welcome to my nonlinear brain. Okay, this incredible being is the guardian of the Atlantean temples. He connects to Saint Germain and is the historian and record keeper of all events during the Atlantean era. He can take you to and bestow upon you the magic encompassed at the time. His message is, quote, I am the keeper of secrets, which are as old as the universe itself. I'm here to impart this ancient knowledge to you for yourself and others. This wisdom has been hidden for eons and forgotten by many. Now is the time for these memories to resurface and for you to acquire ancient knowledge. Like many things, these secrets have been hidden in plain view. All you need to do is ask to be reconnected to them. That reminds me so much of this freaking crystal sitting on my desk. Lemurians. Okay, so Sirius descendants, Lemuria, ancient civilization, moved over, migrated to Atlantean after the fall of Lemuria. And when they talk about the wisdom has been hidden for eons and forgotten by many, but now is the time to let these memories resurface for you and to acquire ancient knowledge. It is said that these Lemurian crystals are encoded with ancient knowledge, and that's why so many of them are coming up at this time. And so I really like when it says, these secrets have been hidden in plain view. Who has a crystal? Hidden, it doesn't have to be Lemurian, but hidden in plain view. All you need to do is ask to be reconnected to them. There are so many ways that we can reconnect to that. Akashic records, crystals, just sitting and meditating, sitting in the emptiness and asking to be reconnected. Whatever that is for you, now would be a good week to do that. During meditation, Platinum will show you what to learn and recall, bring you into full alignment with new chakra energy, and guide you through the chakra color system. He will make you aware of your healing potential Mm. And connect you with your abilities deeply. Connect you with your abilities deeply, enabling you to clear the lower vibrations from your physical and spiritual bodies, paving the way for you to become a truly awesome spiritual warrior. Even though it didn't specifically speak to that, if you're also dealing with any health issues, clearing lower vibrations from your physical bodies. So it says physical and spiritual bodies, paving the way for you to become more truly awesome spiritual warrior. So this energy, this platinum dragon, can also help you with the physical ailments. It clearly said reconnecting to you and reconnecting you and making you more aware of your healing potential. So even though it didn't specifically speak towards that, I feel like that we can read between the lines. This is a powerful dragon. And as many times as I have read his message, because I feel like I pull his card all the time, it hit a little bit different today. So hopefully it hit a little bit different for you all too, and you really listen to this dragon coming in at this time. It also reminded me very much of High Priestess energy, keeper of secrets, wisdom holder. All you have to do is ask, and I'm willing to tell you any and everything that you might need that might benefit your path. All right. Let's get into the one card reading. Oh, there's a lot going on over in chat. Okay. We got just a little bit of time, so I'm just going to do one reading, one lucky reader. Nev, you're up. That was easy. Okay, Nev, what does Nev need to know about this upcoming week? Which is wisdom? Which is wisdom? It's the Oracle deck. Of course, this card for Nev. Alchemist. Look at all those herbal remedies. Isn't that a beautiful card? Herbal Kitchen is at the top. Alchemist is at the bottom. If y'all don't know my friend Neb, she is definitely a kitchen herbal witch. At least I consider you one. I don't know if you consider yourself one. All right, let's read this message because this message has meaning for all of us. Mixing, making, stirring, brewing, boiling, baking, frying, stewing, collecting plants and herbs to use, selecting carefully now to choose. This magic is worked with harm to none, so mote it be, there it is done. And here's the message for us. You have a natural affinity with all kinds of plants and herbs. Experimental cooking, making potions, and plant medicine has always excited you, and you feel a witchy air about you as you add in carefully selected ingredients for your magical elixirs. Urban Kitchen delights in confirming that you indeed are a natural kitchen witch. You have strong connections with the element of earth and, of course, the plant kingdom. You are being called to step up and take your alchemist abilities to the next level. Draw on your inner wisdom to work with plants and herbs to assist you in your spell work. Look into making alternative or natural remedies and healing sprays, as well as delicious meals that you can tempt your family and friends with. The kitchen is where you belong and feel most at home. Time to cook up a storm. Here's the message or foresight. Your ability to work with plants and herbs hails from a past life. Invest in studying plants. Your body may be giving you signals to eat plant-based diet. Check with your doctor first. Write a book of natural remedies for ailments or pursue your dream to cook. Those are all activities that we can use to call in this energy. And then the last one is, since ancient times, herbs have been used as potions, elixirs, infusions, tinctures, and poultices. Drawings on cave walls depict our ancestors using herbs. From sacred woodlands to your herbal garden, the spirit of the plants hold earth and elemental magic. Each plant teacher, when asked, will assist you in your magical work. That is a message for Nev, but also a message for all of us. Anytime you encounter a plant for this upcoming week, ask if it has any messages for you. And that can be lettuce on your hamburger. I know Nev is like, not a hamburger, but it could be lettuce on your hamburger. Just peek underneath the bun and say, you got a message for me before I eat you? But for real, because Spirit is saying that we need to get back in touch with earth energy. And I know some of y'all don't really get in touch with earth energy and plants. So we have to get it in where we can get it in. And sometimes that's the only way. So, but as a whole, if you can sit with that practice of, do I have enough plants in my practice, in my diet? Do I need to switch my diet? What messages is nature trying to give me at this time? Is there anything homeopathic or herbal that I might, maybe even as generic as an herbal tea, that I can add to my practice this week that might help me feel that connection to that earth energy? All right, that's what I have for you all. Let's do a very quick activation. This activation is going to be about re-examining our beliefs and sitting in that emptiness. So I invite you to take a couple of deep breaths in, exhale, close your eyes, and imagine that you are sitting in the middle of a grand temple. Very, very big vaulted ceilings, very expansive, very clean and clear energy inside this temple. And in this temple, as you look around, the walls are a long ways off. You can't just reach out and touch a wall. Very expansive room. But as you look at the walls, you see images, large poster-sized paintings and pictures hanging on the walls. And each one of those pictures represents a belief that you have hung on your temple wall, your inner sanctum, an energy that continues to affect you. And I want you to just sit in this space and take a quick look at what beliefs are on your walls. What pieces of artwork are there? Do you have ones that bring you joy and happiness when you look at them? Do you ones that maybe don't bring you any charge? And maybe ones that are giving off a little, I don't really think I like that artwork anymore. Now is your chance to mentally just take those paintings down off the wall. Retire those beliefs, thanking them for the long time that they have spent beautifying your temple, bringing energy into your space. But now we're going to take them off the wall, hand them over to the curator, and let that person carry them away. And now in this space, you're just surrounded by only the energies, the beliefs, the structures that support you, that bring you comfort, joy, ease, clarity. And now everyone is left and it's just you. And I want you to sit in this silence of just you in your inner sanctum to the count of 10. All right, and then take a deep breath in and a slow exhale. And make a commitment to yourself, for yourself, that you will find moments throughout your day to sit with quiet and emptiness, to let distractions melt away, just for the count of 10. Longer if you can, but at least for the count of 10. To find the wisdom of the silence, the wisdom in the whispers, the wisdom of the emptiness. Go ahead and take a deep breath in and a slow exhale. Go ahead and open your eyes and come back to the room. I hope you all have an amazing, wonderful week. And thank you all so much for coming and hanging out and giving your energy and your support. Have a great week, everyone.